Good evening. The Mishnah on the bottom of Kuf Ghima Amud Aleph. New Mishnah goes out to Haviro Shavet Pruta. Someone robbed his friend the minimum amount, Shavet Pruta, the value of Pruta. Vinish Ba'lo, and he swears falsely that he didn't steal it. Now he wants to do Teshuvah. Yelichinu Achrav the Madai. He has to chase him even to Madai. Paras Umadai. Right, he has to chase him as far as the ends of the earth to do Teshuvah to pay him back. You can't give it to the guy's son or his agent or shliach. I'm going to tell shliach betin, but he can't give it to betin's agent. But if the guy died, you can give it to the guy's children. If he paid back, the robber paid back the victim the principal. Let's say the guy stole $100. Paid out the $100, but he didn't pay back the 20% fee for lying falsely, for swearing falsely. If he gave him for the principal $100, but he did not forgive the homish. So both cases, the principal's payback. Or we forgave 99.99% except for less than less than a penny's worth of the principal. You don't have to pursue him to Madai because the keren is the main part, and therefore, if there's not enough of the keren left, you don't have to chase after him, the principal. However, if he gave back the fifth but did not pay back the principal, if he forgave the fifth but did not forgive the principal. If he gave both but less than a shabruta of the principal, or more than a shabruta of the principal, you do have to chase him because there's in all three cases the principal's remaining. Next case. Let's say he paid back the principal, but then he swore falsely that he paid back the fifth, the chomesh, 20% fee. So now he's starting the process all over again. How does it Mishnah chomesh to pay a fifth on top of the fifth? Do the math, I don't know it. And that process can continue. If you keep doing that, it can continue until that is reduced to less than a shavat pruta. People get done. The same thing applies to a deposit. For someone's watching something else, then he swears falsely that it got stolen or he lost it. And then it finds out that he had it, he has to pay 20% fee. So how do you know that's gezel and pikadon? Or bipikadon or bitsumet yad, or bigazel, or ashak atamitom, or masabida vikihesh ba binishba al shakir. All right, so we see that pikadon and gezel are the same thing. How does Mishnah kirin the chomesh v'asham? He has to pay back the principal, 20% fee, and a korban asham. So now it sounds like only if he swore falsely, nishba'lo in lo nishba'lo lo. But only if he swore falsely, he has to chase him to Madai, but not if he did not swear falsely. Mani, who's according to La Rabbi Tarfon, but La Rabbi Akiva, seemingly does not fit according to Rabbi Tarfon or Rabbi Akiva. Kitanami the Mishnah. Gazal echad machamishav. Someone stole something from 5 people. Sorry. Someone stole something from one of 5 people. The end of that isn't he doesn't know which one he stole from. Vikol echad omer oti gazal. And each one says, hey, you stole from me. All right, simply enough, he's a store or marketplace, and there's 5 people saying the same thing, and he took one. He doesn't know who he stole from. According to Rabbi Tifon holds that you can put the item down in front of the 5 and say, "Okay, I stole from one of you. I don't know who it is. Here it is. Figure it out. Enjoy. Let him fight over it." Rabbi Akiva says, "That's not a good way to patur yourself from the avira that you did from stealing." So what do you have to do? You have to pay the stolen item to each one. Now, money. Who's the author of the Mishnah that fits with that? It would be according to Bitarfon, who says that you could just drop and go. It sounds like that even if the guy swore, Rabbi Tarfon could say just drop and go. You don't have to chase after the guy and go to Madai. You could just drop it in front of the 5 guys. So to over here, you don't have to chase him to Madai. Just wait for him to come back or whatever it is. So it sounds like it's not Rabbi Tarfon. If you want to say it's according to Rabbi Akiva, it sounds like even without swearing, you still have to pay back everybody. And therefore, in this case, also, even without swearing, you'd have to chase him to Madai. So now the Gemara is going to say, who says that without swearing? When does Rabbi Akiva hold that the robber has to be pay back each guy? It's referring to the case after the robber swore falsely, therefore our Mishnah fits perfectly. My time, why does he hold that he has to pay each one? He has to pay back to whom it belonged to, and when he wants to admit what he did wrong. Therefore, when it says you have to give to who belongs to, you have to make sure you deliver to the victim himself to be patur. And therefore, if you don't know who it is, you gotta pay back everybody. But Rabbi says, even if you do swear falsely, you don't have to return it. Abu Drabanan Takatib because the Takana, according to Chachamim. Tanya Berta says, Rabbi Elazar Berabitz Dokumer. Takana Gedlad Hikin, we made a big Takana. Shem Haitao to Ali Tira al Kirin, if the expenses are more than the actual stolen item was worth. Meshlem Kirin Rachumash Bedin, you could pay the principal and the fifth fee to Bedin. Mavi Ashimom Kaperlo, then he could bring his Kobar Hasham. So this case where you have to travel and take a boat around the planet to go to Madai, to go to the guy, that's also more than the value, and therefore you patur. The word says, Rabbi Akiva, what did Rabbi Akiva hold with that takana? When was that takana existing? That's referring to a case where he knows who he robbed. But if the guy's far away, and therefore you can return it there. You give Bedin, let the owner get it from there. But the guy, but if you stole from one from five, you don't know who he did. You don't know who he stole from. Therefore, the Bedin cannot give it to anybody because they don't know who he stole from. Therefore, in that case, Rabbi Akiva makes everybody get paid. Okay. The machloket between Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Yafon will not be on a case if you bought something from somebody and you don't know who you bought it from, now you want to pay. Now you went to the marketplace, you said, okay, here's the item, here's the etrog, let me just show it to somebody, and I'll be back. You come back, okay, I want to buy it. Who's this? And you have 25 etrogim stands around you. If you've ever been to Israel, you'll see it. So now, how do you know who to pay? So in that case, they would agree. You could put down $100 for the etrog and say, guys, I don't know who it belongs to. You guys figure it out. Where's the machloket only on? Shegazal. If he stole, if he stole from one of five people and you don't know who he stole from. You could drop it down and let him figure it out. Kiva says, you have to pay back each one. The Isa, the Mishtaba, if you want to tell me the machloket is whether or not the robber swore falsely also, Mali lakach, mali gazal. Right. So we made it sound like that the whole difference is Rabbi Akiva would say it's a case where the guy swore falsely. So the question is, if that's the case, then who cares if he bought it or stole it? It should be the main factor should not be whether or not he stole it. The main factor should be whether he swore falsely. Another question. The story of a Hasid, a big tzaddik. He bought something from two people and he didn't know which one he bought it from. He came in from Rabbi Tefon and he told him, drop your money between both of them and leave it. He went before Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva told him, pay them both. So now, if you tell me that a case where the guy had to swear falsely in order to be chayav both according to Rabbi Akiva, Hasid mishtaba b'shikra. We're talking about Hasid. Hasidim don't swear falsely. Maybe he was in the tzaddik before, then he became a tzaddik afterward. He became a Hasid afterward, and therefore he was he wanted to do teshuvah after he became a Hasid, so he did swear falsely to begin with. It doesn't fit either. But we know that whenever it says the story of a Hasid Echad, the certain Hasid, it's referring to or Rabbi ben Baba or Rabbi ben Relai. It's referring to these two rabbis. Rabbi ben Baba, Rabbi ben Relai, Hasidim Havu. We're never off the derech. We're never non-Hasidim. They were always Hasidim. So therefore, we can't be talking about a case where they swore falsely. We have to re-explain it. Really, he's talking about a case of Mishnah is our Mishnah is Rabbi Tefon. Rabbi Tefon would agree that if the guy swore falsely, he has to pay each guy like Rabbi Akiva. My tama, why? The Amar Kral Pasuk says, "La'asher hu lo yitinenu biyom ashmato." You have guilt. You have guilt. If you have a big sin of swearing falsely, you have to pay each guy. Rabbi Akiva holds that. What does Rabbi Akiva add on top of that? Even if there's no swearing falsely, but he just stole it, there's still a kanas that he has to pay each guy. Rabbi Tefon, according to Rabbi Tefon, Michli, let's see. In a case where he swore falsely, it's not enough for him to be chayav, even unless he confesses that he did something wrong and he wants to kapara. Therefore, it must be talking about a case where the guy is trying to do the shuvah, right? My area of the nishba. So therefore, why does it have to be specifically if he swore falsely? I feel low shuvah nami. Maybe if he didn't swear falsely and he just wants to do teshuvah without swearing falsely. Tanya, the Brachta says it. Rabbi Rabbi Tafon would agree in a case where someone went over to two people and said, "Gazati echad mikem mene, but any of them isn't mikem. I stole $100 from you guys, but I don't know which one I stole from. No ten lezem mene was the pay each one the $100. Shekvar hodim pi asmo because he already confessed on his own that he's chayav. So therefore, how can we say our case is according to Rabbi Tafon that you have to swear falsely and you have to pay each guy? We see over here even without swearing falsely. Shani Matatina, our Mishnah is different with the Machlok Rabbi Tafon and Rabbi Akiva. Why? The Kevan the Adal Laman Gazle. Since in the Mishnah's case the robber knows who he robbed, the Odle, and therefore he confessed to him. Kevan the Afshada Adurim Amon Lamare. Since it's possible to return the money to him, even though it's a long trek to Madai. In that case, it's okay not to travel because that's like a pikadon. It's like a okay. I'm gonna keep. I owe you the money. I agree. I owe you the money. I sent him a telegram. I forgot the word. The message that maybe it is telegram. That I owe you the money, and when you come back from Madai, I'll give it to you. Hilkach, therefore, nishba. If he swore falsely, however, he swore falsely, even if the guy is telling you, I'll hold it till you come back, now that he needs kapara for swearing falsely, you have to go travel to him. If he did not swear falsely, he's not as bad. That's just like, okay, fine. I owe you $100. When you come back, I'll pay back. Right? So the swearing falsely is whether or not you have to chase after him. If you swear falsely, find the guy. You need to do kapara. If you don't swear falsely, you can wait for him to come back. That's part of Mishnah said, Lo yiten lo lo you should not give it to the guys, shliach, to the son, etc. Itmar, shliach, sha'asa b'edin. If you made a shliach in front of witnesses, Rav Hizda Amar have a shliach, it's a good shliach, and you could send it. Rabba Amar lo have a shliach, it's not a good shliach. Rav Hizda Amar have a shliach, Rav Hizda says it's a good shliach, because lahachi terach ba'ach maybe edim z'lekil b'shdeh. That's the whole reason why you did it in front of edim, to put it in the recipients, in the creditors, right? So if I borrow $100 and I want to send it to the guy, so I made a shliach in front of Bedin, and I say this shliach should be the shliach of the receiver, which means if he loses the money on the way, not my problem, it belongs to the receiver, and therefore Bedin will make me patur. Abamar, that's not fair. The guy who owed the money should say, okay, could say, Yani, this is all theoretical. If the guy loses the money, the lender can tell him, no. You made a shliach to give me the money, great. You trust him to bring it, great. That's on your head. If he loses it, I didn't get the money yet. That's not my problem. You made a shliach, fantastic. You trust him, even better. But don't make me lose money because your shliach messed up. Okay, Mishnah says, someone was borrowing a cow, and he sent. He's the guy who wants to return it. With his son, slave, or shliach. Or with the son, or the slave, or the shliach, or the borrower's shliach, umeta, he died. Patur, you're not chayav to pay for it. What's the case of shliach? If you did not appoint him in front of edim, and how do you know that was the real shliach? Right? Who says? Must be talking about where he did make him the shliach in front of edim. But patur, we see here patur. Kasha of Hizda, questioning against Rav Hizda, who said that it's not good enough. Where it says, no, in that case, it's talking about where he was making that guy, the guy who was a shliach was the guy who works for him, his apprentice, his assistant, his driver, his chauffeur. Over here, it's someone who he uses to send stuff with. Therefore, when the guy lent it to him in the first place, he knew that he was going to get it returned through this guy because that's the guy he sends on errands for on trips, and therefore it's a good enough return. Amen.